All right, welcome everyone to the Ludens Query Podcast. We are doing something a little bit different now, and hopefully continuing on from here. We're gonna do some regular updates throughout the week. Maybe not daily, because that's a lot of work. Maybe a couple times a week.
3 times a week.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about two or three times a week.
All depending on the amount of news we have out there too.
Yeah, for sure. And that is what this podcast is going to be about. It's going to be a Ludens Query report. We're going to be talking about the news that comes up, and we're going to have our own takes on it and just discuss what we have to say about all these things that always happens on the Twitter sphere and on the interwebs and just all the drama that happens in the gaming industry. And if you're if you're a Ludens like us, you know there's a lot of drama always happening in the gaming industry.
God.
Always something going on. Well, we are here, and I am joined with my co-host, Ricky. What's up? How you doing?
What's up? Doing pretty well. Here I am. Essentially, I am also a listener because I don't know what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, I just kind of sprung this on him. He doesn't even know what we're going to talk about, and this is the show. I think if this goes well, we'll probably just do it that way. I'll come up with the news, and we'll get his reactions on it and my takes on it.
That would be the thumbnail.
Perfect. All right. And for those of you who don't know already, I am Moses. So I should have probably introduced myself to you first. Whatever. This is the very first
We'll fix that.
report we're gonna do.
We'll clean this up later.
Well, yeah. As time goes on, this will be a lot more smooth, a lot more entertaining, and a lot more fun to listen to. Hopefully. So this will be up on YouTube, but also on podcast platforms all over the internet. There's not any particular one. I think we just kind of put it out there, and if it lands on a podcast platform, just search up the Ludens Query, and you'll have our episodes there. We've had previous podcasts about all things. You messed up my whole thing, man. Oh my god. Get out of here.
Oh man.
My overlay is just for the two of us. Okay? It's literally recording on Discord, and I have our faces. Oh my god, get out of here! Get out of here, Timo!
He's back again.
Go away! You're ruining my overlay.
Might have to send him a message.
Off to a great start.
That's
I love
too
it.
good. That's
I love
too
it.
good.
This is what happens when you do it live. Okay. What was I saying? Okay, yeah. Our podcast from before, we usually just talked about certain topics that aren't usually discussed, and are more philosophical, more deep, more thought-provoking. And this is more of just talking about news. And in that in itself is entertaining, depending on what the news is. Also eye-opening.
It's more relevant to what's going on now, right? Because our other podcast is like you said, just about, I don't want to say random, but other stuff, right? Not
it is
something
random.
That's up
it
to
is
date.
Random.
Kind of, yeah.
You know, it's stuff that I'm sure a lot of people think about too, but
yeah.
If you're interested in those type of podcasts, we have those uploaded already. So just search up the Ludens Query podcast on any of your preferred podcast platforms, and we will be right there, along with these reports that we're going to be doing regularly.
Let's get into it. Oh,
Do I have a bug in my room? Okay. Lots of things going on. Anyway,
yeah. Well,
so
yeah. Let's get into
on
this.
today's agenda on the Ludens Query Report, August 3rd, 2021. We have
What's going on?
4 things that we're going to talk about. And I'll
Okay,
just lay it
over.
out there right now. First thing we're going to talk about. Blizzard's head of HR leaves.
Oh, you left.
There's a...
So, like, well, I am aware of the drama in Blizzard, but the head of HR.
We'll get into that. I'm just going to give an
so
overview of what we're talking about today.
Okay, so
Just to give your mind something to...
okay, so yeah, let's go for the topics first.
Yeah. So that's the first one.
everyone-
Blizzard's head of HR has left.
Okay, all right. Next.
Number 2. Unreleased PlayStation VR 2 specs make Sony's new headset look even better on a report on TheVerge.com. So
Ooh.
that will be
That's
something
interesting
interesting to talk about.
Okay, all right.
I'd say
I like
it's
it.
more of a rumor, but
So,
from what I've read on
anything is
it, there's some credible sources behind it. So
Okay.
this one might be a little bit interesting, considering our personalities.
good. Okay, all right. Next.
Number 3, Halo Infinite campaign spoiler leaks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Do we care though?
that's why we're gonna have it on here. We're gonna talk
Okay,
about
all
it.
right.
And number 4, more Blue Box Studios cheeky marketing.
More? Haven't they done enough?
We've talked about it already, but just
Yeah, we talked.
just for the sake of recording for a podcast,
Okay, okay. All
we're gonna
right,
talk
all
about
right.
it again. But first,
All right.
Blizzard's head of HR leaves. So I'm on Twitter today, and I follow a bunch of people, and one of the more prolific journalists in gaming is Jason Schreier, and
Yes.
he has a
yes.
report on Blizzard's head of HR leaving, and I
So,
am going to
when
read
you say-
his...
Okay. Read it. Because I was gonna ask, like, when you say leaving, did he resign or did he get fired?
I'm gonna read some of the reports on that head of
Alright,
HR
alright.
leaving. So let me just bring that up right now. And boom. All right. So this is on TheVerge.com by Sean Hollister and Jay Peters, but also Jason Schreier has tweeted. That's how I found out about it. Jason Schreier, writer for Bloomberg, he tweeted it, and I looked into it, and I found this article about Blizzard's head of HR is out. Jesse Meshuk, SVP of Global HR, has left. So this is an article written by Sean Hollister and Jay Peters on The Verge. And it's a little short. I'll read the whole thing. Just so Ricky here can understand the context. And all of you that are listening and watching. Okay, so Blizzard President J. Allen Brack isn't the only executive leaving the company today. Whoa.
Oh.
Okay, that's also new.
Not the only one.
Not the only one. Okay,
Not
so
the only one.
J. Allen Brack has left also. All right. So
Okay. Okay, so
we got two executives. Okay, let me read the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Isn't the only executive leaving the company today after presiding over a culture now accused of fostering constant sexual harassment. Jesse Meshuk, the company's head of global human resources, has now also departed. An Activision Blizzard spokesperson confirmed to Bloomberg and to The Verge. Quote, Jesse Meshuk is no longer with the company, end quote, wrote an Activision Blizzard spokesperson. The company declined to comment further. Meshuk appears to have deleted his Twitter account as well. While Brack oversaw the entire Blizzard brand and was named in the state of California's lawsuit as an alleged enabler, Blizzard's human resource department was also allegedly complicit. The lawsuit suggested that employees were discouraged from complaining as human resource personnel were known to be close to alleged harassers. And one of the people pictured in photographs of the Cosby Suite was allegedly an HR employee, according to an ex-Blizzard developer who spoke to Kotaku. Let's see. Is that important? Okay, I'm like halfway through. I'll just read the rest of the thing. And in a report published by Axios today, multiple current and former Blizzard employees called the company's human resources team part of the problem. They would report issues only to be ignored, belittled, and retaliated against, they claimed. An HR rep reportedly told one employee to suck it up because they were acting like a brat. Another told Axios that after she was assaulted by a male colleague, the HR rep took his side, telling her to work from home or switch departments. Quote, he's really sorry and he really wants to work at Blizzard.
No,
and he says that you were really friendly with him, end quote, they reportedly said. Last Tuesday, Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick promised to clean house, writing that, quote, anyone found to have impeded the integrity of our processes for evaluating claims and imposing appropriate consequences will be terminated, end quote. On Activision Blizzard's earnings call Tuesday, Kotick defended the company's intent to make necessary changes. Quote, I want to start by making clear to everyone that there's no place at our company where discrimination, harassment, or unequal treatment of any kind will be tolerated. Nowhere, end quote. He said, adding that, quote, we will be the company that sets the example for this in our industry, end quote. He also suggests he also continued to suggest, however, that the allegations were old news. Quote, over the past several years, we've made significant changes to address company culture, end quote, he said. Quote, when we come together, we make some of the best games in the industry, and we're now seeing that energy applied to our culture, which is equally important, end quote. Jen O'Neill, who was made one of Blizzard's new co-leads on Tuesday, said later on the call, quote, there's a lot of work ahead of us, but the passion and productivity are already there. When our people feel safe and supported, the rest is going to take care of itself, end quote. That's the end of the article. So, Ricky, what's your take on all of this?
Damn. Damn. So, I'm guessing now that we've seen all this, they basically admitted that all that shit is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, why would they address an article like this and get rid of those two guys, right?
Right.
Unless they're just under pressure and they just have to like just appease the masses, which I kind of don't see that happening. I don't think that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like they legit they have shit going on. They have to clean it up.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty drastic actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially basically just firing. Yeah, they fired the head of HR and then who's the other guy? The head of CEO, right? One of the CEOs.
J. Allen Brack, an executive. They just executive. I know he is Blizzard president.
Yeah,
So
because I kind of remember it, like that guy's name. He's like kind of at the top of Blizzard. So. So yeah, it's. Although I feel like personally, I feel like sure they're trying to clean house, and get their acts together. But personally, I feel like the damage is done. I kind of don't want to support this company any longer.
Yeah.
Even then, before that, like I'm already a little disappointed with their previous actions in other incidents. So even like, prior to this mess, I'm already kind of reluctant to supporting this company. But after this, I was like, nah, man, that's it. This is the last straw.
Yeah.
Like originally, I was pretty excited to get Diablo 2, even though I'm kind of reluctant. But now, after this, I'm just thinking like, nah, man, one last game for me to buy.
Absolutely. For me, like I agree with you. Like, I mean, Activision, like they never really came out with anything that I am that much of a fan of to support them. The only thing that they've come out with in recent years that they backed was Sekiro. And even that, when I saw their name attached to From Software and Sekiro, I was like, that's weird. That made me scared a little bit, because Activision is not a company to really put your faith in, put your trust in. Yeah. And like all they really are right now is a Call of Duty pusher. Like just yearly Call of Duty, rinse, repeat, and that's what's working for them as a business.
Yeah,
but obviously,
and Blizzard
is part of them. Yeah.
Blizzard have quite a few games that's making money for them. Like WoW is still making them money. Lots of people still playing it. And then what else do they have? Well, like Diablo 3, and then 4 is coming out. And then Overwatch 2 is coming out. The biggest
name games in the industry, right? Like everybody knows what Diablo is. Everybody knows what World of Warcraft is, and Warcraft and StarCraft. And that was a time from before Activision got them, right?
Pretty much.
And like I haven't played any of those games. I haven't played WoW recently. But I hear it's just not good compared to the other options that you have out there now. Like as an MMO,
like they used to be.
There's other MMOs out there. Yeah. That you can choose to play instead of World of Warcraft, especially now. Like, I'm sure every single WoW player has talked or is talking about this situation, right? And in their head, they're thinking about, like, is it right to keep playing,
to keep supporting it, right? And then at the same time, there's a lot of hype for FF14. So I'm sure a lot of them just thinking like, shit, this might be the time to finally jump ship and then abandon this mess, right?
Yeah.
Of course, there's still gonna be a lot of people there saying like, let's separate the art from the artist, and they're just gonna keep playing the game, which that's their choice. I'm not gonna fault them for it. But personally, I feel like no, I can't really support them any longer.
And that's the thing I think is important with how we as players, as people that hear this news and we think like, okay, how can I make a difference in something like that? Like this isn't just a Activision Blizzard issue. This is a gaming industry issue.
Yeah, it's sadly it's kind of common. Like not to this degree, but there are a lot of devs, like hardworking devs who are getting mistreated, right? So hopefully this is kind of the beginning where a lot more of these cases will get have light shed on them, right? We'll see what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Or even the other devs that are saying always going on to crunch. Just a bunch of other issues, right? So we're finally starting to see them. So hopefully now we can kind of basically fold over our wallet and tell them, like, yo, man, we can't support this. Get your act together. Otherwise, you get no money.
Right.
Because that is the only thing that will hurt them. That's the only thing that will bother them. Because honestly, they don't care about anything. Do you like actually believe a word of a word from that article, like said in the article? Like, do you think the CEO of Activision actually meant any of the words he said? Hell no. It's all pure talk,
speak.
right?
It's corporate speak.
Yeah, it's corporate speak. I'm sure he doesn't care. Like some people got sexually harassed. He doesn't care as long as he gets money.
Yeah.
So that's why the only way to really send a message to them is to not give them money.
Yeah, exactly.
If you hurt the wallet, then they realize, okay, we have to change our act.
Yeah,
this is not how we make wallet. Money. Yeah.
Sorry. Be right back. I gotta close this window. There's a cricket outside that's bothering me. All right. Yeah, I completely agree. Players need to vote with their wallets, and that is like the most powerful thing you can do and most impactful thing as a person that plays these games, that we can help enable change and support what needs to be supported, what is right to support, and not support what doesn't deserve support,
Yeah.
right?
So it's like it's the only thing and one of the best thing we can do.
Like, I'm sure if you look at the, the ticker, the stocks of Activision Blizzard right now, when all of these allegations came forward and the state of California suing Activision Blizzard, like when that graph starts going down, that's when
they care.
That's when they care. That's when they speak up, and that's when
Yeah.
you start seeing these articles, these emails, these reports from these executives talking about what's going on.
Yeah.
Right, and their take on it.
Yeah.
And just giving their, appearing as though they care. But obviously, they're just trying to appease shareholders, investors, and the public. And, we're not dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
We're not dumb. Like, we can see right through that.
Yeah, if their stocks didn't go down, or if it's just a bunch of people complaining on Twitter, you think they're going to care? No,
yeah,
of course
exactly,
not.
Exactly.
They're
and
not
that's
going
the
to care.
thing. That's the thing. Like, they start talking because they're sweating because their company's losing money. But now, like, the more money they lose, the more they're sweating, and the more they're gonna, show their true self, right?
Yep.
So I think that's like how it's important for players that play these games like Call of Duty and Blizzard games, Overwatch, all these games, to really sit and think about, I know it's a fun game. I know, like, you're a supporter, you're a big fan of the games that you're playing, but you have to really understand, like, is what you're doing, perpetuating their culture? Because, these allegations are happening right now. They're being sued, and they're still making money, right? So, like, if they're able to have this toxic culture, this misogynistic, abusing women in their workplace and still make money, like, this, they're just trying to wait until this all blows over, keep their heads low, and just wait for the money to come back in, and wait for that stock ticker to go back up, and they're gonna think everything's fine. Yeah. Like, that's
nothing's wrong.
I think that's the most important thing that we as gamers can do, as players. Vote with your wallets. Support games studios that make those great games, and practice progressive business practices, and don't support the ones that are toxic like Activision Blizzard. That's it.
All right. So I think
and they're cleaning house, and I think that's important. I think they're off to a good start, but obviously Bobby Kotick, he's the one at the top. He's got to go. He's like, all this happened under his watch, so
So how did he not know, right? Like, that's like, he's at the top. He has the responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Uncle Ben said, "With great power comes great responsibility."
So
he got to own up to it.
It even more so proves that voting with your wallet is the most important thing that you can do. The more the company bleeds money, the more these investors and shareholders and people on the board, whatever, they can vote him out. Say, like, hey, Bobby Kotick, you're not it. You drove this company into the ground. You let this,
this mess happen.
This mess happen, and let it happen
under your watch.
Too long.
Yeah.
We got to get someone new. You can't.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have someone that let the building fall apart, build it back up again.
Yeah, that makes no sense, eh? Sure, let's get this guy to build it back up again.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be the same problem again. Well, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So number two on the Ludens Query report. Unreleased PSVR 2 specs make Sony's new headset look even better.
Okay, so some good news, some happier news.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna get, the more heavy topic first out of the way instead of ending on a really low note. I'm gonna keep it in the forefront, talk about it.
Okay, so let's
it's
hear
important.
it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
But yes. All right. So on PlayStationUniverse.com, they have a report saying that unreleased PlayStation VR 2 specs make Sony's new headset look even better. That's the title of the article.
Okay. How much better? How so?
All right. So on PSU.com, written by Michael Herodins on August 3rd, 2021, he writes, according to the latest Digital Foundry podcast. So Digital Foundry, they're a very well-known
Reputable?
and reputable YouTube channel and company that speak a lot about technical things in terms of gaming. So
yeah, the tech side of gaming.
As soon as I saw Digital Foundry, I knew, okay, there's some credibility to this.
Yeah.
All right. So according to the latest Digital Foundry podcast, Unrevealed PSVR 2 specs are going to make the new Sony headset look even better than what we've seen so far in previous leaks. Obviously, Sony is keeping tight-lipped on a full list of specifications for the virtual reality headset right now. So keep that in mind.
All right.
Richard Leadbetter, one of Digital Foundry's core tech wizards, and the following to say about the PSVR 2. I'm reading it off of what I'm seeing, so if it's not grammatically correct, it's not me. So he says, one thing I think that is kind of heartening is Sony is doing PSVR 2 for the PS5. We've seen some leaked specs and it looks good. We've seen some other specs which haven't been leaked, which make it look even better.
Okay,
Evidently,
so what makes it look good? Okay, I'll let you finish the article.
That's almost done. Evidently, DF has been privy to some unreleased PSVR 2 specs, and while they don't cite any sources, they're about as reliable as you can get outside of an official press blurb. Still, we'll have to wait until Sony spills the beans on PSVR 2 to find out what the device is really packing under the hood. PSVR 2 is currently in development at Sony and has yet to attract a release date. However, we've already got a look at the new controller, which will incorporate haptic feedback and other features seen in the DualSense controller. So, Ricky, how hyped does this make you?
Honestly, I am a little indifferent to it right now because in the last few years, we haven't seen that many good VR games. There's a handful here and there, like decent ones, but nothing too mind blowing. None of the no big budget VR games.
Yeah.
So that's why until I see one that's like legit, like almost AAA level VR game announced for it, I'm gonna keep my expectations kind of low.
For the PlayStation VR.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing about it. With the PlayStation VR that we have now, it is limited by the hardware for the PS4 because it has to run on the base PS4.
Yeah,
also,
but even then, like the games, it's
in
like
the VR itself.
Yeah, it's kind of limited, but even at the same time, like Sony kind of supported it by releasing Astrobot Rescue Mission, which was one of the best games I've played in the last 5 years. But other than that, the support for it's kind of lacking.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad they're making a VR 2, but at the same time, my expectations, I kind of want to keep it in check. Because I don't know how many games they're making for it. Or if any third party are actually making games for VR.
Right. My thought on it is that PlayStation 5 is the most popular next-gen console right now. Like, it's objective because you can see the sales. You see the reports happening weekly. Like, just recently, they passed 10 million PS5 sold. And that's with, chip shortages and, lack of stock being able to be put out there for people to buy. And they still reach over 10 million PS5 sold with all the problems that's facing as well. So this is probably going to be the most popular PlayStation console ever.
Well, hopefully once stock goes back to being normal. But okay. So what are the specs
it's
of
on
the
track
VR?
to be
It's on
very
track.
popular.
But we'll
now
see, but
with
that's we're getting off track.
Yeah.
Can we talk
So
about
that's part
VR?
of my point. This is part of my point.
Okay. All right.
So with PS5 being as popular as it is, and in the future maintaining its popularity, PSVR 2 has a little bit more accessibility. I like with PSVR for the PlayStation 4. I don't know. I don't have the figures on me right now, but I'm pretty sure they have a good chunk, like in the millions, like at least 2 million. I want to say 4 million, but there's millions of PSVR owners out there, like you and I. We're one of the many millions. And like you said, Astrobot Rescue Mission is one of the best games that you've played. Also, I agree. It's one of the best games I've played in recent years. And you're saying that you haven't seen a AAA title come out for PlayStation VR. Unfortunately, I haven't had the pleasure of trying out Half-Life Alyx, and I think that's maybe the only AAA.
That's the closest. That's the closest we
PSVR
have.
or virtual reality game that we have. But
which is kind of a problem because VR like has been around for the last 3-4 years.
Yeah,
and the fact that we can only basically name drop 2 or maybe 3 games that are legit, like a must play on VR. That's a pretty big problem.
I think with the limited hardware for PlayStation 4, we weren't able to get like first party studios to make a good VR game because it's either an on rails shooter, right? Or a roller coaster simulation type of gameplay that we're used to, and only like third party big titles have like VR support. And like you have Borderlands and Skyrim and Doom, but
honestly, like the best third party VR game might be Resident Evil 7.
And it's just the high cost of entry, right?
Yeah.
With like you can't really make a AAA title if you don't have the right hardware to be able to put into reality the vision that you have for a AAA game.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like a lot of devs just don't want to because the potential return is really small. Because I feel like the install base is still relatively small compared to how many people own a regular console. Yeah. So why would they dump a bunch of money into making a game that can only sell like maybe like 100,000 units?
Yeah,
that just makes no sense, right?
The thing is, with this report that Digital Foundry is saying that the specs look good and will make obviously the PlayStation virtual reality experience better, there's hope for like PlayStation Studios to be put to task on creating a AAA title for a PlayStation 5 exclusive like VR experience. Yeah. And I think with the hardware capabilities of the PlayStation 5 with the PSVR 2 and its quality of life features, I know it's going to be able to only connect with one cable, and that's probably one of the hurdles playing PlayStation VR.
It's just clunky. Well, that's VR in general. It's just really clunky right now. But someone who owns a Oculus, it's like I like the thing. It's just when it's a pain in the ass to set that thing up and play it.
That's the thing, and we already know that the PSVR 2 is going to be connected with just one cable, like the probably USB-C cable, and with the specs that we don't know but apparently look really good according to Digital Foundry, we have the potential. There is hope that there will be more AAA titles to experience, and me personally, I'm hyped. I'm hyped about PSVR 2. And I would definitely play more VR games if it was, a more affordable cost of entry, like a lot of the high-end VR experiences, like Oculus and the Steam. I don't know what's called, the Steam one that you need or you play Half-Life Alyx with. In order to run that game, you need a high-end computer and a really good VR headset. And
and the thing is, like, if Sony is serious about selling PSVR 2, they really have to make a game good enough that can justify the cost of this device. Because That's another problem. You kind of mentioned it earlier. The cost of entry is too high.
Yeah.
And there's only basically 1 or 2 games that's worth playing. So, do people really want to drop $500, $600 on a piece of tech where you can only play 2 games on it? That is the main problem. They have to make a game good enough, that can convince people to spend $400-$500 on this thing.
I think
otherwise, if they don't have the install base, third parties, they're not gonna make games for it.
Yeah.
And then the PSVR 2 just gonna sit there and die.
But I believe that PlayStation Studios, like, they have the talent to put out that one game. All they need is one game that is Game of the Year contender for VR, like a VR exclusive. Just one game, and that will show that there is a possibility of more games to be experienced in this way. For like, that's true next gen. Like, we're talking about, PlayStation 5 here with the DualSense, the best controller ever made, with the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers. We already know that the VR new controllers for the PSVR 2 is going to have those features.
Yeah, I just thought of one thing. VR plus the VR plus the haptic feedback controllers. The one big problem is, how do you market it? You can make a controller, but how do you get the point across? Because people, when they see a game, they see how good the graphics is and stuff, right? But VR, you cannot get that across. On TV. That is a big problem. Same with the haptic feedback. You can film a paid actor, wearing the headset, holding the controller, like, whoa, going crazy. But honestly, who buys that shit, right? No one believes that. So I think one of the most important thing they have to figure out is, how do you market this thing? You can tell people how great the VR is, but unless people have experienced it firsthand, they're not gonna really believe it, especially at that price point.
Yeah.
So that is something they have to figure out.
For like a potential strategy, I know we're just two random guys, I'm sure Sony's not gonna listen to us, but anyway, here's my idea. You can't make that Game of the Year a brand new IP. You can't introduce a new IP. You just gotta have a name to it,
Yeah,
it's gotta have to be not even a spin-off. It has to be like a potentially canon part of a series.
Kind of like what they did with Half-Life. It's just like part of the established franchise.
Yeah,
you have to go that route.
I'm pretty sure Half-Life Alyx was a prequel to like Half-Life or Half-Life 2.
That's what I heard. I haven't played it.
But it's part of the canon, and it's like a legitimate, not even like a DLC type of expansion. It's its own game, and it's part of the actual series.
Yeah,
right?
I think this is why Astrobot didn't get as much attention as it should, because it's a new IP essentially.
Yeah. So that maybe Astrobot might be that IP, because
even now
every single person that has a PS5 has Astral's Playroom.
Kind of, but it's not a well-known IP outside of the PlayStation community. You want to go beyond that. That's what they need right now.
I mean, that's the only people that you really need to market to, because they're the ones that can get.
You want to market it to people. No, you want to market it to people outside of it, because those people are potential buyers of PS5.
That's
if
true.
You showcase that, and they might be thinking, oh, I can get a PS5, or I can get a Xbox Series X. And then when they see they have a marquee AAA VR game, then they might start leaning more towards PS5, and they're like, oh, you know what? Let me get that instead.
Yeah.
So,
well, anyway, the potential for PSVR 2 is great, and with the power of the PS5, the hardware that it has, you can't make a PC at this price range be that powerful. There's no way. You're gonna have to sacrifice something, and that's the low cost of entry for next gen, plus PSVR 2 running on next gen hardware. That's not going to be as expensive for sure as that Steam
Well,
VR
actually,
headset.
no. I have to kind of correct you there because right now, well, if you get a PS5 plus a PSVR 2, which I'm guessing is going to cost around like $400 to $500
Mm-hmm.
together, that's close to 1,000, well, Canadian,
Mm-hmm.
which is like what eight to nine hundred US, right?
Okay.
Versus you can get a Oculus Quest,
Mm-hmm.
which is just the headset itself. It can play VR games on its own. That thing, I believe, it's like $500.
Mm-hmm.
So it's half the price, and you can play VR games. And with the ways they're going, I'm pretty sure they can, if they want to, they can develop a newer version which costs roughly the same, right? So
But you
if you
still need
want if you
the.
want if you want purely VR games, the cost of entry it's actually cheaper on going for Oculus.
But we're not talking about just any VR games. We're talking about AAA VR games.
Yeah, you can play basically anything that's on the Oculus Store, which is quite a lot.
Can
I
you play
believe you can. I believe you can play
Half-Life
games on Steam.
Alex?
I believe so.
Uh, you could probably run it, but like you want the next gen.
Yeah, I'm saying like if they make a new one, they can probably run it
Mm-hmm.
because the Oculus Quest that is kind of old.
I mean, like here in Canada, like the PlayStation 5 digital edition, what was that, like $500, 400 US,
Yeah, and if
like
the
400
PSVR
US
one,
dollars, like
yeah,
you get a next gen gaming rig. Plus, like, yeah, but like
if you're
PS5 is really when they release the PSVR 2, it's just taking next gen to another like next mid gen.
I don't know, like I still feel like if you're trying to appeal to the people interested in VR, it's still a uphill climb for Sony because compared to what Oculus have right now, it's still cheaper on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want VR, if you just want like just straight up VR, the Oculus Quest is still cheaper.
I see. I see. It's about standardization as well. Like you're gonna, and as well for game development, having that singular hardware be consistent across all platforms, not having to play cater to the lowest common denominator as you would with PC. The PS5 AAA like VR titles can potentially be like really incredible. Like imagine the team at Sucker Punch releasing Ghost of Tsushima on a base PS4 and it running like the way it does. Like that's what I'm saying. Like just the potential, it is great.
Well, all I'm saying is I'm gonna keep my expectations in check. So the Sony fanboy,
I'm
you
hyped.
can
I'm
you can
hyped,
gush over it all you want. For
bro.
me, I'm
I'm
being
all
I'm being
about
real.
I'm
I'm
all
being real
about
here.
next gen experience, DualSense features on VR
You're not even about next gen. You're just about Sony.
Well, Sony is bringing me the next gen experience, so like obviously I'm gonna be all about Sony, and
Alright, okay,
that
well.
brings us to something that is not Sony, Halo.
Okay, what's going on there? What's going on with
Number
Halo Infinite?
number three on our Ludens query report: Halo Infinite campaign spoiler leaks. All right. Okay, this is pretty short.
All right, keep this short. It's not worth the time.
Some context for you listeners. Ricky and I are PlayStation fanboys.
Kinda. Even though well, anyways, yeah, I didn't sound like one earlier, but yeah, sure.
Sony fanboys. It might not. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Well, I sound like it for sure.
You sounded like a Sony fanboy. I didn't sound like one.
I-
Although deep down, I
I'm
do
gonna
like
be
my
honest.
Sony console.
I'm gonna confess live. Actually, Xbox not so bad.
It's not bad. It's just not bad. It's just fun to make
It's
fun
just-
of them, man.
I don't know. It's fun to be a part of the console wars. I'm
It's
in
kinda
it
fun.
just
It's-
for the satire.
It's fun.
But
like,
yeah,
but deep down,
honestly,
like they
Game
offer
Pass,
really good stuff.
you can't
Game Pass
knock
is so good, man.
you can't knock Game Pass. You can't knock
Yeah,
it.
man.
I'm saying it right now. Like you can't knock it. It's good. I have it, and but I don't have an Xbox. But the fact that I can play these games
On
on
PC.
on my PC, Like you can't
Like
argue.
that alone makes Microsoft like really good in my books. Even
They
though
they're smart.
yeah,
They're smart.
like
That's
they
the
can
bottom
afford
line.
it. Like that's how they can get more market share, which is good,
Yeah.
which is smart, right?
Yeah.
I have no problem
Incredibly
against that.
intelligent strategy. Like they know
Yeah,
they're not going to win the hardware sale, the hardware war and battle against PlayStation and Nintendo, but they have the software. They're Microsoft, and that's what Game Pass is. Anyway, Halo Infinite. Can't get sidetracked like this. We're gonna keep this in under an hour. All right, so GameSpot. So this is an article on GameSpot written by George Yang on August 2nd, 2021. Title: PSA: Halo Infinite campaign spoilers have leaked via the beta. Beware of Halo Infinite campaign spoilers as data miners have gotten their hands on some files. So far, many Halo fans have been enjoying the Halo Infinite multiplayer technical preview. However, it's been confirmed that campaign content was mistakenly included in the beta's files, leading to spoilers making their way online. 343 Industries' Joseph Staten stated that there were a small number of Halo Infinite campaign files unintentionally left in the tech preview build. He confirmed that they do include spoilers. Quote, leaks like this are painful for the dev team and can ruin the campaign experience for everyone, end quote, says Staten in a tweet. Quote, so please keep your eyes peeled for spoilers and don't spread them if you see them, end quote. In addition to spoilers, uploading any of the data mined to places like YouTube could have adverse effects on your channel. Halo community director Brian Gerard warned that doing so could result in a takedown notice and lead to receiving strikes. Quote, if you have already posted content and we recommend removing it from your channel proactively, end quote, recommends Gerard. And a tweet. No, that's what it is. I just said it. That was his tweet. If you're lucky enough to get an If you're lucky enough to get an invitation to the technical test, you also have to install the beta client. Players in the beta have also already started competing for high scores in the Academy. Halo Infinite is set to release holiday 2021 for Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. The multiplayer will be free to play when it launches. That is the end of the article. So Ricky, what's your take on this?
why do we care? Because what do you mean by spoilers? The trash. I mean, the plot is trash. Doesn't matter.
Shoot. There you
Spoil
go.
all you want. No one cares.
The
It's just Halo.
PlayStation fanboy is out.
All right, that out of the way. I have to let that out. Well, it sucks for them. It sucks for them. Like any dev to make spend time making a campaign and then it gets leaked. It's always heartbreaking, right? Kind of what happened with Last of Us 2. That was the issue too.
Yeah.
So I guess all I can say is it's just a plea to people who comes across these things. Just don't spoil it. Keep games fun for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be an a-hole.
Yeah.
And just be nice. Don't spoil. Yeah. No spoilers.
Spoilers are trash. Straight up. Full stop.
I kind of have to agree with that article. The whatever that dude is from Xbox or 343. That's their death, right?
Joseph Staten. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you have these contents, don't put it on Twitter. Don't put it on YouTube's. It will ruin so many people's day.
Yeah, like
because Moses over here has had some pretty bad experience. I had some bad experience.
The worst.
Got some stuff spoiled to us, unintentionally. We just browsing around and it's like, oh, there's a spoiler right there. Ooh, okay.
Right in the title, right in the thumbnail. Why would you do this?
Yeah, so don't do that, please. Don't.
Even for Halo fans, and we're not Halo fans, you know.
No, I know. Even though it's for Halo, I know the plot is trash. No one cares about the plot. Who cares about Master Chief? It's a nobody.
I'm trying to be a reformed PlayStation fanboy. I'm not gonna try and talk trash about Xbox anymore.
Like, yeah, even though all those stuff is trash, but still, there might be a few unfortunate individuals who care about the Halo plot. Don't spoil it for them. Be
We're all
nice.
Ludens. We're all Ludens.
Okay. All right. I
We're
think
all
that's enough.
Ludens. Yeah. Oh man, I hate spoilers so much, and like leaks. I just don't like leaks.
I
There's
know.
data
Like,
miners out there.
oh god, I hate that.
I
Like
man.
we want to be surprised. We want to be pleasantly surprised by news, right? These
Mm,
devs, like I said, spend so much time making things we will enjoy and like, and they want to make it a pleasant
exactly.
surprise for us. And then one of these
Exactly.
guys, just because they want a few more likes on YouTube's and Twitter or whatever other social platforms you use, they data mine it and post it on thing, and it ruins the day for everyone.
Yeah.
No one wins at the end of the day. The devs get screwed. We get screwed out of it. So only the data miner gets that 1 second of fame, and then everyone forgets about you. Why do it?
Yeah.
No one benefits from this.
The devs they have a vision for how they want to release their game. I'm sure they have, certain times of when they want to reveal certain information, and that's part of the journey towards the game, as
Yeah,
well
it's part
as
of the
playing the
fun.
game itself.
Yeah, it's part of the fun. The lead up to the announcement of the game.
And like, why would you leave story stuff in that beta, man? Come on.
Yeah, at the same time, yeah, that is kind of dumb. Like, I kind of have to,
Mistakes were made.
talk some shit to that dev team, right? Like, how did you mess that up? In
I
this day
know.
and age, obviously people are gonna freaking dig in and trying to find stuff. So I know it's not the right thing to do. It's not really your fault, but still, you gotta protect yourself somehow, right?
Yeah. You gotta cover your
Like
bases.
like you're living at home. You're not gonna just not lock your door because people are not supposed to come and steal shit from you, right? You still want to lock your doors.
Maybe I'll just leave it unlocked so I don't have to get a broken window.
Yeah.
They're coming
Yeah.
in, whether or not I lock the door. Just make it easier for them.
Yeah. So be nice to the devs. At end of the day, they
Yeah.
want to
Yes.
announce the game in a certain way.
Be nice to the devs. They're
Yeah.
Ludens. Just like us. They're humans.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
us.
Just enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey
Yeah.
to when the game will be announced.
The thing I take away from it is that like it could ruin the game. Well, like that's obvious, but like just like the critical reception of it, because I know for sure the people that review these games, the critics and these, YouTubers and whatnot, sometimes they just have to dig in and they read the leaks just for their own job, because they are influencers. They have to know this information, and like the leak is out. This is what happened with Last of Us Part 2. Like the leak was out. Like I didn't read the leaks, but I know it had something to do with Abby, and I'm sure they didn't reveal that she was a playable character
I think they did.
before. Did they?
Oh,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no, oh, no.
I was
The
completely.
leak.
I was like blocked
But
out.
the leak confirmed that Abby is playable.
Okay, see, yeah, something like that, and then a detail like that made fans absolutely livid. And did the leak of Joel come out too?
Oh yeah. I think it did. I think it's those two things, right?
Like, come on. And for sure, YouTubers have seen that, and they talked about it, and the reputation of the game plummeted. The Just before it even came out, so people already had the expectation that it's going to be bad, because their favorite daddy of gaming, Joel, what's his name? I don't even know what his
I
name
don't even
is.
know his last name.
Joel of Last of Us. All the Last of Us fans are gonna hate us. Joel, the dead one.
And we call ourselves PlayStation fanboys. How do we not know his last name? Like,
Joel.
we lost all credibility there.
Joel something. That's gonna bother me.
Anyways, well,
Anyway,
that's
yeah, like this could potentially happen to Halo or any game in the future.
Well,
Like,
I don't think Halo will get affected as bad because Halo is still mostly a multiplayer game versus Last of Us. Last of Us is a like legit single player story driven game, right?
yeah,
So the plot being leaked, it's a big problem. Whereas Halo, it's like in all seriousness, the campaign, sure, it's nice to have one, but most people who play Halo, they really only care about multiplayer, right? So yeah.
yeah. But I think if they want to be, they chase after that Game of the Year recognition, they have to have a really incredible campaign. Like, they're very rare for a multiplayer game to be Game of the Year, right? It's always gonna be some type of narrative to it.
Yeah.
The only multiplayer game I know that won Game of the Year was Overwatch.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it won Overwatch Game of the Year. Yeah.
All right. So
Stop spoiling stuff, people.
All right. Next topic.
Next on our report here.
Man, I was trying really hard earlier to help you transition into this. Eh?
I know. I had something to say.
I was like, transition. I'm laying the foundation for you.
I know. I saw it and I just looked the other way. And
right, okay.
To my detriment, we're running out of time. Blue Box. Yes, more Blue Box cheeky marketing. We already talked about this off camera, but yeah, Hassan Karaman has an update on his Twitter account that I want to dig into his Twitter account, but yeah, I'm gonna read his tweets and we're gonna talk about what Blue Box has shared last week. So his tweets are as follows. Let me just change the scene. Nope, that's old news. Hassan Karaman. On July 28th, Hassan made an update to his Twitter account saying the following in a thread. With Abandoned, we wanted to deliver a new gameplay narrative. The way you explore, fight, and progress is all done differently. With the real-time experience, you'll not only get to see the high-end graphics, you'll also experience how the game feels like. After all, the real-time experience is a game application and does much more than just a video. I believe a real-time experience app is a next-gen feature, with the PlayStation 5's fast SSD, allowing us to travel from point A to point B instantly and to load data fast. So an in-game cinematic in form of a trailer makes perfect sense and is a nice feature to have next to a usual video. Ricky, what do you have to say about
I know we talked about this, but goddamn, that sounds like the type of bullshit Kojima will say.
I knew it. I freaking knew you were gonna say that. Oh,
it sounds exactly like the type of thing Kojima will say.
I know.
There's a bunch of kind of pretentious nonsense that makes things sound more complicated than they really are. But at the end of the day, we still love him. We still love him for what he is because, what can I say? He makes good games.
Kojima.
So, well, we'll see. We'll see in today's the 3rd, right? So it's coming out in
9 days.
In 9 days, right?
Or no.
7 days. It's coming 7 days in a week. Because
yes.
It's on the 10th, right?
Yes. 1 week. We're gonna find out. We're gonna see
Tuesday,
Kojima's face at the end of the experience. We're gonna see it. I guarantee it.
God damn it, Kojima. Like, I'm excited, but I'm angry at the same time. Because he keeps pulling this shit. I hate myself for keep falling for it because I can help but get hype. When you see these things, it gets to me.
I
deep
love
down I'm thinking like
reading
it's
about
bullshit.
this stuff.
It's bullshit. Like, you just why does he have to keep pulling bullshit like this? But at the same time, like, as a fan, I can't help but get excited.
Yep.
Like,
such is the life of a Kojima fan.
It's everything's just intriguing. You want to know more, even though it sounds like complete bull.
This is exactly how Kojima writes. Like, this is how he thinks.
Yeah.
like I just remember him revealing how Death Stranding is a new genre. It's a Strand type game.
All his games, if you read his description of all his games, this is how he describes his games: Metal Gear, Death Stranding,
Tactical espionage action.
Yeah, he loves to use all these unusual, non-gaming terms to describe his games.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I'm legit I'm pissed and happy at the same time.
So I did a little bit of shallow digging into this Hassan Karaman Twitter account. He only has 81 tweets for an account that has been active, apparently, since November 2013. I'm seeing it right here. I'm going to change to my B-roll. 2013. Joined November 2013. And only 82 tweets. And the earliest tweet I can find from him is on July 11th. Now, I'm not the most proficient and experienced Twitter user, but I'm pretty sure you can dig fairly deep into someone's Twitter account and see things from more than a month ago. But from someone that has been on Twitter since November 2013. How long is that? 9 years?
8 years.
8 years. 8 years, and only have 82 tweets. And your earliest tweet is July 11th.
From this year?
From this year.
So this account existed for 7 years, basically. Well, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't tweet anything until this year?
Until July 11th. A month ago, basically.
Okay, we're the data miners. We need them now.
I don't know, man.
We need the data miners.
I might be wrong here. I don't know. Maybe I have to refresh this page. Let me refresh it. But only 82 tweets.
Where are the spoilers? I need the spoilers now.
Yeah, July 11th. I don't know. Okay. But that's not the only thing that has come up with Blue Box. Obviously, we have to talk about what Blue Box shared on Twitter. Their newest picture that they showed. Only one of 3 media posts that they've posted. And this last one is this. You're not seeing it, Ricky, but right now, you know what it is, though.
I know what it is.
You know what it is. Look at this goddamn picture, man. Are you serious? We've talked about it already, but come on. Eye patch? White man? I might see a mustache. I don't know.
If this game turns out to be non-Kojima related, man, this guy's gonna get crucified. He is.
I know.
He is a dead man walking, basically. If he is not Kojima, then he better run for his life right now.
Now, with this picture, reports and rumors have come out that Abandoned is a Metal Gear title. And obviously we can see it. If you see this picture, if you go on Blue Box Game Studios Twitter account and you see their picture that they uploaded or they shared and tweeted, you can tell what that is. For sure. This is Kojima. And I just like you, I'm mad and I'm hyped. Just look at this. Look at this thing.
So if it is indeed Metal Gear, then does that mean they somehow got the rights from Konami?
I don't know.
They somehow worked it out.
I don't know. It's weird that Konami hasn't come forward and said anything about this.
Yeah.
It's weird that PlayStation hasn't really, talked about this rogue campaign that they're tied to right now, right? I'm pretty sure someone at PlayStation would have talked about, like,
yeah,
hey,
they would have said something
Blue
about
Box,
it.
calm down with this type of marketing. What are you doing? You're overhyping this game too much, and it's going too far, and it could potentially be disastrous. Like you said, they'll be crucified. Stones will be thrown at Blue Box if this doesn't turn out to be anything Kojima related.
Well,
Or
we'll
like,
find out in 1 week.
like if Abandon is not a good game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like if Abandon is anything short of a masterpiece, then people will be pissed. After the type of campaign you did, yo man, it better be a damn good game. If
Well,
your name is not Kojima.
I guess we'll find out in a week from now, and we will have a podcast to talk about it then.
Yeah, we'll talk about it then. So yeah. So
But for now, this has been the Ludens Queer Report. That went pretty well. I think we're gonna do this pretty regularly. It's not bad.
that was kind of fun.
We just reached over an hour.
Yeah.
I think we'll be back for sure.
Plus, yeah, I think once you like edit a few things here and there, and it'll be like just under an hour.
Yeah. Well, that's us. That is the Ludens Query podcast. You can find us on podcast platforms around the internet, interwebs,
interweb,
and on YouTube. So like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Ludens Query, and find us. Search up Ludens Query podcast. You'll find us there. Ricky, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/BaconBeercan. And of course, our YouTube channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I do have an Instagram account, but I don't really use it, so yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I have been Moses. You can find me on Twitch. Maybe not so much. Maybe eventually, if this becomes more of a regular thing, we'll start streaming it once in a while. I'll stream it through my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/MojoCritical. I also have a Twitter account at TheHybridGeek, and Instagram also at MojoCritical. I'm not too active on social media, but if interested in what I've posted before, just give me a follow, give me a like. That's been our very first podcast of this type. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out,
See you guys
Ludens.
next time.
Peace.